All right, so come to exam 2 and exam 3, practice problem. Recommend you guys, if you want to be more in depth, look at the videos. However, since I already record those materials, I will just go through the problem solution and tell you guys what to look for when you are looking at the problem solution, right? So you could practice on your own. Really recommend you just only do the practice problems and do it till you're very good at it. You don't want to go to other resources. It could be more intimidating. So just focusing on the selected problem we already have. All right, so this one, all right, the first thing that they did, just look at the problem type and try to like remember the way that it asked. Something that they did is they take the investment, right? Investment for A, they divide by the total investment, which they add up these things. That's how they got 0.10, 0.5, 0.4. And beta, this equation right here is really expected return, right? Which is the weight multiplied with the beta. In this, if expected return, then you will expect that this thing right here will be return. However, this one is asking what is the beta of the stock A, B, C. So each of them have different beta, right? So you try to see like what will be the value of the beta if these three combine. So this is what this equation saying is that you're going to multiply each weight, which is your already figure, multiply with the beta of each specific one. You can see right here, right? 0.10 multiply 1.2 plus that multiplied by that plus that multiplied by that. So really looking at the solution right here, try to see the pattern. This is the weight, this is the beta of the first thing, the weight of second thing, beta of second thing. See the pattern. And then if you want more further explanation, I explain in the video. All right. So okay, they're gonna have something to talk about the CAPM. The equation for CAPM will be provided on the test. They're gonna be provided on the test, right? However, something to notice is this is called market risk premium. You have to know when it is overvalue and undervalue. That will I talk in the videos. However, you have to know when it's overvalue or undervalue. You okay? I think this is the tip here. If the return is below this line, then it's called overvalue. If it's above, it's undervalue. All right, what does it mean by below the line? Every return that you put into the CAPM, that is, for in this case, 26.2, right? That value gonna be on the line. Every return that you got from the CAPM will be on this straight, this slanted line right here. All right. All the return that tell you to find, that will be the point that is gonna be above or below this 26.2. That's how you know if it is overvalue or undervalue. If the point is happen to be somewhere right here, that's overvalue. If the point is somewhere up here, it's undervalue. All right, recommend going over the video, just like skip through this part if you want just to know that part. All right, calculate standard deviation. All right. Okay, so this one tell you to find standard deviation of each stuff, right? If you're referring back to the formula sheet, this is the equation to find the variance of one specific stuff. after you apply this equation, after you apply this equation, which what does it say? It say probability multiplied with the R minus expected R, right? Could be confusing. However, first thing first, you have to find, let me see. Okay, my apologize. This one telling you to find the standard deviation of the portfolio, which means the whole thing. And how do you know? The reason why I know is because it gives me the weight, which I know is called W, and it gives me two standard deviation of A and standard deviation of B. So I kind of know that it's going to be this equation right here. And this equation, if you put in there, it's going to be a variance. And to find the standard deviation, you have to take the square root of a variance, right? That's how you'll be able to find this. Yeah, this solution right here, you see? This is solution. Okay. This one is also the same thing, but a little bit trickier, in which it gives you covariance. Up here, it gives you correlation. Watch out for that. Let me see what else. Okay, so this is asking for the return right here, right? Pay dividend per share. The next 2-year earning. Well, no. I apologize. This one is definitely a most difficult, I think, in this chapter, in which it's a two-part process, where you're gonna have growing, it's gonna have a growing dividends. So recommend whenever you see my videos that I talk about problem 5 right here, could be very confusing. If very confusing, give me a text, ask me more. But just know that this one is the most difficult problem, where let me give you guys a drawing just so. Okay, so this problem, if you remember, it's gonna be like growing the dividend. Let's say from beginning is 0.5, 0.15, and then it's gonna grow 20% for the first year, 30% for second year, and then after the second year, it's gonna grow consistently up 8% forever, right? So that this problem is really tedious. However, if it really trouble you, just try to go and really understand all their problem instead. But like I said, it's covered in the videos. Yes, let me see. And the stock is expected to trade if equivalent risk. What is pay an annual? Okay, so this type of problem is the return type of problem. Yes, this is the return type problem, where let's say you know that this is the expected, right? Let me draw it for you. You try to find the value today of the stock. You know that it's going to trade for 68.6. So you're gonna take that minus the original price plus the dividend, in this case 1.50, divided by the original price, and that's gonna give you the return of 14%, right? So this is just math. You have to multiply this over, right? So 0.14. And then you're gonna have add this on both sides. These side cancel, right? So you're gonna add that, and these guys equal to 1.14 PV, right? Yeah, something like that. And you could find PV. You could find PV, right? Okay. We see what else. Yeah, holding period return referring to same thing, the change, right? Percentage change. Yes. Other than that, the most important thing is what terms important. You have to know that this one right here is called this one when it have a square on it is called variance. And if you take a square root of a variance, it's called standard deviation. This symbol right here, even though you thought that is standard deviation, but if there's an A and a B next to it, it's called covariant. Right here, covariant, right? These two guys, the same thing. However, they have different approach. This one, PAB, what does it mean? It's called correlation. So another term, right? New term called correlation. Up here doesn't have the correlation. So even though it's mentioning covariant, the correlation, if are given, then you have to use this one to find the covariant. All right, right here, you see variant, right? If it gives you a weight of two asset A, B, right, and then standard deviate, this one is variant, right? Variant of A, variant of B. Uh, then you know that you have to use this one to find the variant. And to find a standard deviation, you have to square root, right? So this one is variant. This one up here also variant, right? So in order to identify like which is which, what term it's talking about is important. All right, and I think that's it for exam 2. On to exam 3, the recent one. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky in a way that it's each question could be tricky. However, I think most importantly is NPV IRR, um, NPV IRR PI PB, and EAA. You have to know when to accept, when to reject. Let me see. Okay, when to accept, when to reject, how to compute them. And also given the problem like this, I would choose good. Okay, given a problem like this, you have to know how to find first initial outlay, right? Initial outlay, then you want to know how to find the annual cash flow. Lastly, the third thing you have to find is the terminal cash flow. Given those three things, you have to find NPV, IR, PIPB, and also know how to find EAA, right? Really identifying what is initial outlay, what is net cash flow, and what is the terminal cash flow could be confusing. However, I try to do the best of I can in the videos as well. But we could go through this problem just as just give you a thought of how I'm thinking when I'm doing it. All right, so first, this one conventional straight line. I think on the test mostly it's gonna be about simplified straight line. Why is this guy important? If it's a conditional, then the depreciation calculation gonna be different, right? Depreciation for straight line is cost of capital. What is cost of capital? Cost of capital is the cost that associate with acquiring new equipment. So this 34 million shipping cost of 1 million and installation of that new equipment 19. So these three added together is the cost of capital, minus the salvage of new asset. That is conventional straight line depreciation, right? Minus that, and then divide by the number of years, 25. If it was simplified straight line, then it would just be cost of capital, which is this at this, this at this at this, divide by 25. You don't have to subtract the salvage, right? So conventional is different from simplified. Or also when in the conventional, if it gives you the salvage value and doesn't give you the book value, right? Then you have to know that the salvage and the book value is equal to each other. Why is it important? Because when you find the terminal cash flow, the equation is salvage minus tax effect, right? Plus net working capital. So you see this is salvage, right? 4, right? But then the tax effect gonna be the salvage, which is this 4 minus what? Conventional, right? Conventional. So the book value is also 4 multiplied with the tax. So you see this one is 0.
Wait, so how do I find the book value if it doesn't say book value?
If it doesn't say a book value, that's gonna be 0.
Like for this one, it doesn't necessarily say book value. So
Yeah.
how'd you get the 4?
Okay. That is because of this conventional. When it say conventional, the book value, if you don't see it, is gonna be the same as the salvage value. That's the
Okay.
confusing part, right?
So if it was simple straight line, would the book
Uh,
value be 0?
yes, correct.
Okay. Okay.
And one tip I want to give you is on the test, if she doesn't say it is simplified or conventional, then you assume it to be conventional, right? I think that's the correct way. Yeah. So
So
on the test,
if it doesn't say conventional, I just do conventional.
if it doesn't say, if it just says straight line, right?
Yeah.
Depreciation, then that is conventional. That is not simplified, right?
Okay.
Simplify, she have to explicitly tell you simplify.
Okay.
Okay. I think that well, okay. That's as of right now. That's my word, but I have to double check on that. I think conventional. Well, but in English is conventional means regular, right?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. All right. If I find anything that could be wrong, I'll let you guys know, but then watch out for that. Okay. Hmm. Yes, other than that, uh, know when to accept the project and when to reject the project. Knowing that the NPV is always the best, right? If the higher the NPV, the better. Uh, However, if they have a different lives, so let's say this project have 10 years, but this project have only 5 years, you want to compare the EAA payment uh, to see which one is the better, not just looking at the NPV. Right? And NPV only valid when you compare it with project having the same life. All right, other than that, I hope you guys do well on the test. And yeah, just reach out to me in this and today or tomorrow, just so I'll help you guys answering some of your question too.